It's going to be at the Palm Beach Improv. Somebody that you should check out if you've never seen him live. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Damon Wayans is in studio with us right now. Damon, how are you?
Hey, yo!
Hey.
I'm good. What's happening? How y'all doing?
Good. Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Very excited to have you here. For me, just looking down at what you've done, I know you shaped a lot of people's lives, but as I look through all the movies and everything you've come up with, I know exactly where I was when I first saw it and saw it again. And I'm just like, man, you were a big part of who I was growing up from high school and into college and all that, man.
That's awesome.
Just always watch your stuff. We would redo every voice you did, every skit you did, like all through everything. So
Hopefully some of that got you in trouble.
oh yeah, no, all of it got me in trouble. My mom's like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Yeah, all the time."
Yeah.
But I was just looking down at some of the stuff that you had done. In fact, it was just maybe a week ago. I had gone by The Last Boy Scout. They had put up on a Netflix or something like that. It had come up. I'm like, that is one of those movies that if you have not seen that is one of the best movies from that era, the early 90s, that if you have not seen that movie, you got to see that movie.
Well, I got to see it because I only seen it once.
Have you really?
Yeah, at the premiere. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I told myself when I get about 75, I'm going to sit back and watch everything my family has done, and including the stuff that I've done. Because for me, if I sit and watch what I did, I'm not thinking about what I'm about to do.
Gosh,
So
that's
it's like you gotta kind of let it go. What's the next? What's the next thing? As opposed to that's why I don't like social media, because it's like I'm already great. Everybody tells me I'm great. Why work?
Yeah. Well, it could be either way too. I mean, it gives you. I don't think it gives you ever an accurate representation, good or bad, of who you are. It probably tells you you're a lot better than you are, and it probably tells you a lot worse than you really are.
You only read the good stuff. Most people only hang on to the good stuff. It's like golf. You go there and you suck, but you make one little putt from 3 feet, and you go, "I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm good at this."
I look at your career and where you've been, because, I mean, you've done TV, you've done movies, you've done a little bit all over the place with this. How is it you pick out projects and where you want to go? Is it something where you think it's going to be a career move that's going to be good for you? Or do you just feel like, I feel like doing this kind of project right now? Or is it just the opportunity that comes up?
Well, I think I'm an artist, which means I don't work a lot. I'm too busy trying
You're
to
always unemployed after every project, yeah.
Trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And at this point in my life, it got to feel good for me to, get out of the bed. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
And stand up right now feels good, as opposed to like trying to do a movie or I actually turned down the Aretha Franklin movie.
Really?
Yeah, because they wanted me to play her father.
Okay.
And in the movie, it alludes to the fact that he molested her.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if I want to play that guy.
Yeah, right.
I get it.
Yeah, no, I hear
You know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Because people have done those roles and they wear that hat, and people
Yeah.
sometimes can't separate that was a role that you played.
Yeah, but it's also the mindset of, what do
Okay.
I have to do every day for 3 months to trick myself into believing that I might be banging my daughter.
It's negative.
It's yucky.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
icky, and you have to.
I guess
you
do
have
it right.
to honestly live it, and you know what I mean. You have to let yourself live it in your mind, not actually do it. I'm
Sure.
not a method actor.
No.
Not on that
Invite
one.
my daughter out to lunch.
No.
You look really good.
Yeah.
Here's some lingerie. I know it's weird.
You look like your mom, you remind me of your mother. No, but it's just I turned it down for that reason. And the funny thing is my brother Marlon got cast after I turned it down, not as that character, but as her boyfriend. But the movie looks amazing. He's going to win all kinds of Oscars.
Yeah.
I know it.
I could see that.
Yeah, but, I did what I had to do to feel how I want to feel in life.
Even
makes sense.
If I would tell you that you are guaranteed an Oscar for that role, would you take it for
No.
that? No? Okay.
No, because it's not worth what I would have to go through emotionally to get to that Oscar. I could buy myself an Oscar. They sell them. I can write whatever I want on it and say, you know what, this is for Major Payne. You won an Oscar. Blank Man. That's screenplay.
Is there ever anything, especially when you were starting out, that you set saying one day I'm going to get that, I want to achieve that level? Was it money? Was it car? Was it an award? Was it anything like that you ever set, young buck out in the game trying to make it happen?
I just never want to be broke again. I never want to miss a meal because I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would have we get toothpaste for dinner just so that there'd be something in our mouths.
Yeah.
A taste in our mouth. We're just broke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's being able to do that, to provide for my family and, people who I love. I'm able to help them out, and, that's all I want.
Uh-huh.
And I don't really need, I don't need to be in everything and everywhere. It's just not how I get down.
Yeah.
I see people and I'm amazed by the energy that they can put into, doing 20 movies a year and, being on social. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah. And, hey, you've done a lot,
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is, I feel like, I'm in the history books.
Yes.
We've done some good work. And now it's just about, being able to work when I want to work.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to prove.
When you first started, so you talk about, just being able to eat. You obviously got a talented family. Do you think everybody was motivated by the same things, and what motivates you? Because, I mean, your name with your family is unlike really, I can't think of many American families that have got that many talented and successful people that came out of it. And usually there's a motivator that's there. Maybe it's, sibling rivalry. Maybe it's like you said, trying to, just get something to eat.
Well, I think that, the family is all motivated by, this. We do have a competitive drive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, Marlon's like the town whore with comedy. He's just everywhere doing anything. And Keaton and Sean, we're pretty much from the same school. So we're going to work when we want to work, and hopefully we'll do good work when we work, as opposed to just work to work.
Right,
right. And Marlon is like a guy who he just needs to be seen. You know what I mean? He really just wants to be the greatest, and it's like trying to help him understand that sometimes greatness is just sitting down and just shutting the hell up. Be great at that.
Big time.
Be great at thinking.
Yeah.
But he's really good at working hard.
Has fame changed anybody in your family that you've noticed more than others? Like they're different than
besides Marlon?
So he wins that
the
award.
town whore. And he knows
wins the
it.
award. And he knows it.
Jezebel. It changes you just in terms of like you become a little aware of yourself. More aware of yourself than you ought to be.
Yeah.
You throw away outfits because you wore it already.
Yeah.
I was TMZ, caught me coming out of a restaurant. Now I got to burn this outfit. It's like, dude,
That's
it's
crazy.
A nice jacket.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable mentality.
Yeah, but it just makes you like aware of, things that you would never. It's like being a beautiful woman.
Okay.
I've people want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. But it's the same thing. A woman's just like, I'm tired of talking. I know I'm gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You're ready to just
take
chill.
my pretty ass to the store. That's all I want to do. Or it's like with fame, it's like there are days when you got a toothache, and you're at the dentist, and they go, "Can you get a picture?" You go, I don't feel.
I have a toothache.
Yeah, I got a toothache, and they'll go like this. I don't care. Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Wait, I know you don't care.
Right.
I have a toothache.
I'm a human.
When you show up, you got to deliver.
Yeah, and that's okay, but you have to put yourself in that mindset. That's those are one of the things, about fame is like people who can do it all day, every day. I applaud them.
Did you get that right away, or did it take a certain point in your career where you said, okay, like maybe you were putting on a face for people because you felt like you had to do it. At some point you're going, I've achieved enough. I'm not going to put on a fake face today because I don't have to.
Well, when we did In Living Color was like overnight kind of, hey, homie, they would come at me, homie, don't play that in your face, and 2 snaps, and it was just like, it was overwhelming. I had a bodyguard at one time, and that was annoying because he was everywhere, and I felt like we would go to a club, and I would be in VIP by myself, and I'm like, I want to be in the party. Why am I here by myself?
It was a good time.
You know what I mean? And so I had to let go the bodyguard because, God is my bodyguard, and he gives me the good sense to not go places where I might need a bodyguard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and then you just start becoming like understanding that people just want to say hi.
Yeah.
When people see me in the street, hey, and it's just if the faster I say hello, the quicker I can move on with my life.
Yeah.
But it's just about being nice. You want to take a picture? Come on, let's go. And because if you go, you start telling them, I don't feel like it. Why not? Marlon's funnier than you. He take the picture. And then you got to explain, Marlon's a town whore. He'll take a picture with anybody.
What you have to go through to not even have to. It's just easier to say,
come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Right. Let's get at it. So looking back at everything you've probably learned, going back, I always like to hear that, just the wisdom gained throughout a life and a career that you've had. You go and you talk to you week one, Live in Color, and what do you say to yourself to help you navigate this business and life a little bit better? Is there something, that the mature, experienced Ron goes back and tells the younger self?
I would say, work smarter, and to enjoy the ride a little more. Because I've isolated myself. Like, I really don't have friends. I have family. I don't really have friends. So I'm at home a lot, and I'm my best friend. I entertain myself. I tell myself jokes, and I'm like laughing. And sometimes I go, you're losing your mind, dude. You need to go out and talk to somebody.
If we had like a camera set up in your living room,
I'm serious.
He's nuts, man. He's lost his mind.
Yes. And I really do entertain myself, and it's fun, but it's you go through stuff and you get hurt and you shut down and you keep shutting down, and closing doors and building walls, and you end up laughing with yourself in that room, afraid to open the door.
That would be great stuff. Just to see that, just the inside tapes.
Yeah, when I go, my security, that's what the people are going to be watching. Why's he laughing?
What's he laughing at? He's the only one in there. He's not even watching TV. Is
now
he
he's masturbating. There he is. What is he doing?
So you're at a place now, you've done everything. Recently had done very successful TV projects and coming off of that. And I hear you're even like into smartphone app development now, which you're doing. Are you allowed talking about like what some of those ideas are? Or is there somebody that's going to snatch that up and run away with it?
No, here's what's crazy. I have patents. I have 4 patents for technology. And what I realized is I'm going to go back to being funny. Because all that means nothing in the app world. It's just it's about having money. It's about having people who can. Because I've read these books. There's a book called Blitzing. I forgot what it's by a guy who did LinkedIn, who developed LinkedIn, and blitzscaling.
Okay.
And he's talking about how there was a time when people who build apps, they would put it out, they'd get feedback, and then they build it again. Because now we're in a time where people are putting so much money behind apps, you have to basically fly the plane and try to keep from crashing. You know what I mean? It's just so you have to go so fast, and they throw so much money at it. You can have the greatest idea in the world, but if someone can beat you to the punch, you're screwed.
I've kind of seen that. I was watching something on this yesterday where you have to put up, even if you haven't tested it out and it's not even working, you have to act like it is because so many people are investing in you. You can't even look like the least bit not confident in what you're coming up with, or everything could collapse.
Well, the thing is that you have to prove to them that you have traction, that your idea is viable. And so you have to have, they call it the MVP, most viable product. You put it out and you scale it down. You put it out, and then people can steal it and they can do it better than you. And you're just like, but you got to prove to someone that this thing is worth it. And in order to prove to them that it's worth it, you have to make it successful before they give you money. It's like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that without money?
And without putting up the airs
Right.
on it. Yeah.
Right.
So now you're at a place where you're like, okay, I've done all that kind of stuff. It's not about the money thing. It's about going out, having fun. You really enjoy getting in front of a room and just
Love
making
it.
people laugh. Is that
Love
just...
it. Love it. There's no greater feeling than doing stand-up comedy for me, because you know in the moment if it's working. You just know.
Yeah.
And it's like you're required to access all your talents and abilities in that moment.
Right.
And that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's like playing basketball. It's one thing to shoot around.
Yeah.
It's another thing to play at the highest level.
Right.
And to know that, they're trying to make you look bad. There are 5 guys against you trying to make, and all that stuff you've been practicing. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
And that's what stand-up is.
And this is all you. I mean, this isn't, somebody hasn't written this for you. You're out
Right.
there, you're doing it. You're not reliant on a co-star that, may or may not be crazy.
Right.
And it's just you out there,
It's me laughing to myself. This is the stuff I was laughing at. And it's
So
working.
this is what we get to hear. What you're laughing about in your living room all by
Yeah.
yourself is what
Yes.
we're going to hear on stage.
Yeah.
What does that look like when you go on tour? Do you go by yourself or do you bring family with you? How is that?
No, this is like, doing comedy clubs is not really a tour. It's just going out and, you got to, just because something works in LA doesn't mean it's going to work in Florida or it's going to work
Gotcha.
in Kansas. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure that it's universal and that, you're hitting all the right, or taking out the stuff that doesn't work. That,
Okay.
like sometimes you'll have to, I'm from New York, so I got to explain what a brownstone building is to
Okay.
people who live in, in Miami, because they don't have them.
How do you write? Do you get an idea and all of a sudden you jot it down, or do you sit down with discipline and try to write funny stuff?
No, the problem with, I'm not a joke writer. I go on stage, I'll get an idea and I go, this is funny. And I go up on stage and I'll talk about it. And I just keep asking myself, well, what if? What about? And just keep finding different angles. Because when I write jokes, you perform them like you wrote them. And then when you write it, you tend to put an ending on it, meaning you never go past the written word. You know what I mean? So you just kind of like limiting how funny something can be. I'd rather come up with a bit than a joke.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
okay.
A
A
bit is
concept.
just like a concept.
Yes.
You just
It's a
riff on
story. It just
Right.
keeps going, and it's
Right.
something you maybe come back to
Right.
later in the set.
Yeah, I hate when I write stuff. It sounds written.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a pretty decent writer. It's just the fun is in playing between the notes. Right? So you have your structure, it's jazz music. It's like, all right, so jazz is this, but in between here is where all the fun and the imperfections, and sometimes the fun is it not being fun. It's
a process. It's a pain sometimes.
It's a wonderful process, and that's what a lot of comedians don't like. Like, the Eddie Murphys of the world that are brilliant.
Yeah.
But they know that you can't cheat the process.
Right. I think maybe that's why he's been reluctant to
Yeah.
get back to the stage. He just knows it
Jim
is
Carrey too.
It's maybe one of the toughest things you could ever do.
Well, especially at that level.
Yeah.
I've made the world laugh. This is Eddie Murphy. I've made the world laugh.
Yeah.
And now I can't make 25 drunks laugh.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he'll have those nights where it's just not working.
And I hear everybody has those nights.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
In order to get to making the world laugh.
Something that's great. Well, you've got many chances to see Damon Wayans Thursday. We're doing an 8 o'clock show Friday. You got 7:30 and 10 that is going to be going off Saturday, 7 and 9:30, and Sunday at 7 o'clock. Go out, see the process, see the jokes, go see it many
See
times.
what he's laughing at.
See what he's laughing at, all that stuff. And like I said, you are seeing a legend too, and it's something you got to definitely go out and check out. PalmBeachImprov.com or call 561-833-1812. Thanks for taking the time. I know
Thanks
we
for
talked
having
your ear
me.
off.
Yeah.
Appreciate it,
This
man.
was awesome. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate
Peace
you.
and love. Thank you.